Hello friends, I am Anurag and today we will discuss that can the coal be converted into the diamond. It is a very fascinating question. Lot of people want to know either coal can be converted into diamond or not. If yes, then what are the fundamentals involved in this process and what is the technology by which the coal can be converted into the diamond, that we will discuss throughout this video. Let's start. So friends, coal and diamond, these are the two different materials. They have the completely different properties. You see that coal, this is a blackish material and it is generally being used for the power production because the coal have a combustive properties. So generally for the electricity or power generation, the coal is being used. While the diamond, it is a completely different material in terms of the properties. It is a very high reflective materials and it is a very shining as well. So because of this property, it is being used into the jewelry industry. The diamond is being used in the jewelry industry, as well as the diamond is a very hard material. So because of its this property, this diamond is being used for the cutting and drilling tools. So these two materials, they are having completely different properties. Even if you compare them by the cost, so that is also quite different. You see that coal cost is very less. The 1 kg of the coal, that can be, it is around 50 rupees for the 50 to 100 rupees. But the 1 kg of the diamond cost is 7.5 crore because the 1 kg of the diamond that have around 5,000 carats of the diamond. So diamond, it is a very costly material, very rare material, while this coal, it is a very cheap material and that is available in abundance. So friends, now question arises that when these two materials having the drastic different properties, so why we are comparing these two? Means what is the similarity in between these two materials? That's why we are comparing these two materials. Yes, these two, the similarity in these two materials is that both of these two materials are made by the carbon atoms. That is a similarity in these two materials, that both of them are made by the carbon atoms, but they are showing the different property. So the question is that what is the reason why these materials are showing the so different properties while both of them are made by the only carbon atoms. So friends, so to know this answer that why these two materials are showing the different properties, we have to see the structures of these two materials. So if we see the structure of the coal, so coal is not a purely crystalline materials. Coal is have the amorphous carbon, as well as there is also the presence of some graphite. While the diamond, it is a pure crystalline material and it is have the FCC lattice structure. So that is the difference into the structure. So one side, the coal, that is the amorphous material, means there is no regular arrangement of the atoms, while into the diamond, there is a regular arrangement of the atom in a unit cell, and that unit cell is being repeated throughout the crystal. So that is very clear at this point that crystal structure is playing a major role in changing the properties of this coal and diamond, because once we change the crystal structure, then the atomic position got changed, the interaction among the atoms got changed, bond length got changed, and the different kind of the bonding got changed. So because of that, property got changed. So in case of the diamond structure, that diamond, that having a very hard material because it is having a very strong bonding, while the coal have the flexible bonding. And because of that, the diamond, this optical property is also different, means it is having the high reflective index and it is a very shining material. So the crystal structure again playing the role for having its a very unique optical properties. So the crystal structure is very, very important to change the property of the materials, because the bond length as well as to the distance between the atoms, that also vary once we change the structure. So all they play the role of changing the properties. So that is the question, that both of these two materials, that coal and the diamond, they are showing the different properties because of they are having the different crystal structure. They are the different structures they have. So if we see the other allotropes of the carbon is also being present into the other forms, that we have the graphite is there, amorphous carbon is there, diamond is there, fluorine is there, carbon nanotubes is there, graphene is there. These are the different allotropes of the carbons. So you will see that in all these different types of the materials, they will have only and only the carbon atoms. Graphite also have the carbon atoms, amorphous carbon have the carbon atoms, diamond have the carbon atoms, fluorine have the carbon atoms, but their properties have the different. Why? Because the arrangement of atom is different, their structure is different, and there is so much drastic change in the properties. You know, the diamond is have a very unique properties. Carbon nanotube, they have a very high electrical conductivity, high thermal conductivity, they have a very high tensile strength, as well as the graphene is there. Graphene is also a very good materials. It has the amazing properties because the electron mobility in the graphene is 100 times greater than to the silicon. So that's why it is widely used in the semiconductor industry. As well as to the graphene electrical conductivity is 13 times greater than to the copper. So because of that, these different allotropes of the carbon are showing the different properties because their structure is different. However, all of these materials have only and only the carbon atoms. So friends, there is a very important thing is to be understand at this point, that structure play very, very important role to decide the property of the material. So now the question arises that how coal convert into the diamond. So the idea is that because coal also have the carbon atom, diamond also have the carbon atom, only difference is their structure, means the arrangement of the atom is different. So if we take the carbon atom from the coal and if we could arrange them as per the structure of the diamond, then we can convert coal into the diamond. So that is the basic philosophy behind this. If we take carbon atom from the coal and if we could arrange them as per the structure of the diamond, then we can convert coal into the diamond. Now the question arises this, either it is possible, can we manipulate atoms and molecules? So because it is not so simple, otherwise everyone can do this business. They will purchase 1 kg of the coal and can take the atoms of the carbon from the coal and will start arranging as per the structure of the diamond, and they will convert coal into the diamond. But this is not so simple because we are talking about the atoms. They are not the big balls that by the hand we could arrange them as per the structure of the diamond, or by the teaser we can do it. So because we are talking about the atoms, so we cannot do by the hands. We need a special technique by which we can manipulate atoms and molecules. So what is that technique? How the atoms and molecules can be manipulated? That is the point to be discussion. So now we will see that which is the technology. So first thing is that this idea were given by a famous physicist, Richard Feynman. He delivered a lecture in 1959 during an American Physical Society meeting at California Institute of Technology. And the title of the talk was, "There is a plenty of room at the bottom." So that was the title of the talk. And in this presentation, the Richard Feynman explored that if we can manipulate atoms and molecules, means if we can change the structure of the materials by manipulating the atoms and molecules, then the properties of the materials can be changed. And the change will be very, very large, means the solid material, they can become liquid, conducting material, they can become insulating, transparent materials, they can become opaque. So there will be a drastic change in the properties can be done if we can manipulate the atoms and molecules. So that was the idea of the Richard Feynman, and he delivered theoretically this lecture, and theoretically he said that there is no physical rule that restricts us to manipulate the atoms and molecules. So after that, a debate started on that point. The different the scientist community is starting to discuss that how we can manipulate atoms and molecules. But problem is that at that time we don't have any microscope by that we can see the atoms and molecules. So in 1982, then scanning tunneling microscope was invented, and by using this scanning tunneling microscope, the people have started to work on the manipulation of the atoms and molecules. And after that, in 1985, the fluorine were synthesized. The fluorine has been synthesized in lab, and in 1991 carbon nanotubes were synthesized. And you know the different very unique properties of the carbon nanotubes. So now the answer is yes, atoms can be manipulated. There are different techniques where we can manipulate the atoms and molecules. You can see that this IBM has been written by a lithography techniques, that the atoms being arranged so that they could be seen the like written as the IBM. So that is the manipulation of the atoms can be done, and which is the what is the technology by which we can manipulate atoms and molecules. This technology is known as the nanotechnology. So nanotechnology is what? This nanotechnology is the science, engineering and technology conducted at the nano scale, and which is about 1 to 100 nanometer. Means the size, at least one dimension of the material should be 1 to 100 nanometers. So meaning is that in this technology, we are working at the atomic and molecular level, because 1 nanometer is equivalent to the 10 to the power minus 9 meter. And you know that if the diameter of a atom is in the range of 1 to 2 angstrom, so 1 nanometer size of the particle contains almost 4 to 5 number of atoms. So because of that, if we are working in nanotechnology, means we are working at the atomic and molecular level. To realize that how small is the 1 nanometer length scale, so the thickness of the human hair is 80,000 times thicker as compared to the 1 nanometer size of the particle. Means we are working at a very small length of the scale. And you know that the nanotechnology also, that if you change the size, that is also the nanotechnology, that is the theme, that if we can change the size, the property got changed. And there are two major phenomena. That is, one is the quantum effect, because you know that in atomic and molecular level, quantum physics is applied. However, for the bigger bodies, we apply the classical mechanics that is based upon the Newton's law. But for the atoms and molecules, we have to apply the quantum mechanics. Where is the quantization of energy? There are the discrete energy state, and because of that, there will be change in the properties. And second major effect, that is the surface to volume ratio, that in case of once we synthesize the material at nanometric level, then most of the atom are at the surface. So because of the Dangle bonds, then the chemical activity of the material is enhanced. So thing is that by using the nanotechnology, there are certain tools, certain techniques with that help we can manipulate atoms and molecules. And these atoms and molecules, they can be arranged as per the required structure. So there are different chemical methods, physical methods to manipulate atoms and molecules, and we have the etching processes there. There is the lithography techniques by which we can manipulate atoms and molecules. Now we come to the question that about the coal and diamond. Either coal can be converted into the diamond or not. So before that, firstly, we have to understand the chemical composition of these two materials. So the diamond, I tell you that diamond is a pure carbon material, and that is being formed a crystalline structure. So pure diamond, that is generally the transparent, but we also have some color diamonds. So color diamonds are formed by adding some impurity. Suppose we added the boron, so then we get the blue diamonds. If we added the nitrogen, then we get the yellow diamond. So these impurities, they are being added at very small ratio. Means only one atom is being added out of the millions atoms. So because of that, we can make the colorful colored diamond also. But one thing is very clear, that diamonds are highly pure material. There is the pure carbon is there. There is nothing other than the carbon, and they are being crystallized into the diamond structure. That is the FCC cubic lattice structure. While the coal is also mostly the carbon material, but still there are some impurity are there in the coal. Along with the majority carbon atoms, there are some hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen or sulfur atoms, so that they are exist into the coal of the materials. So now we come to the formation of the diamond, that how the diamond are formed. So firstly, we will understand that what is the natural process of the formation of the diamond, means how the natural diamond is being formed. So friends, the natural diamond is formed at the earth mantle, that is a very deep from the surface of the earth, and there is a very specific conditions, very intense heat and a very high pressure. And at this high pressure and high temperature, the carbon atom, they crystallize into the form of the diamond. So diamond crystals are formed. And this phenomena occur at the mantle of the earth. It is around 150 to 200 kilometer below the surface of the earth, and temperature is generally 900 to 1300 degrees centigrade, and the pressure is 45 to 60 kilobar, which is approximately 50,000 times greater than to the atmospheric pressure. So this high heat, means the high temperature and high pressure, they work together, and then they allow to form the carbon into the crystalline lattice structure. So that is the formation of the diamond naturally, that at the earth mantle level there is a high temperature is there, high pressure is there, where the carbon atoms they crystallize into the diamond forms, and diamonds are made. Now the question arises that how the diamond comes over the surface, because they are very deep inside the earth surface, 150 to 200 kilometer. So they come over the earth's surface during the volcano eruptions, and generally the diamonds are being formed in that area where the volcano eruptions take place, because where the volcanoes are formed, there is also a very high temperature and high pressure. So once these volcanoes are erupted, then these naturally formed diamonds, they come upward toward the surface, and generally that kind of the diamonds are being found in the commercial mines available in the region. So that is the natural formation of the diamond, means at very high pressure and very high temperature, at the mantle of the earth, the carbon atoms, they being crystallized as per the structure of the diamond, and the diamond crystals are formed. So this is the process of forming the natural diamond growth. Now we come to the formation of the synthetic diamond. So that will give the answer of either coal can be converted into the diamond. So now we are talking about that how the synthetic diamond can be formed, because this natural growth of the diamond, that is, it take very much times, many years, billions years take place to make the natural diamond. But so we have to think about that either the synthetic diamond can be made, and if it is made, then how it can be done. So answer is yes, the diamond can be synthesized, and there I will discuss, there are many methods, but I will discuss here the two methods. The first method is high pressure, high temperature. That is the first method. And in this high temperature and high pressure method, we will use the graphite piece will be used to make the diamond. So that the answer of that question, either coal can be converted into the diamond. The answer is yes, coal can be converted into the diamond, but we have to firstly remove the impurity of the coal, because for the diamond fabrication, we don't want any kind of the impurity, but coal have the impurity. So firstly, we have to remove the impurity from the coal, or either we can extract the graphite from the coal, and that graphite can be used to form the diamond. So we have a chamber. Inside the chamber, we will put the graphite sheet, and there will be a high temperature around 1200 degrees centigrade and high pressure, that was 50,000 to the atmospheric pressure. So with these conditions, we will start growing to the diamond, and this diamond can be formed, and generally this method form the diamond within few days. So that is, but the diamond is being formed, this synthetic diamond is formed by this technique. This is not as pure as the natural diamond. So that is because during this process, we have to use some metal solution is being used to expedite the reaction. So there are some impurities there, but they are very good. They are almost similar to the natural diamond. The normal person cannot distinguish this synthetic diamond and natural diamond. Only the diamond sellers, they can know that which is either synthetic or natural. But naturally, the shining of a natural diamond is very high as compared to the synthetic diamond. And these kind of diamonds are generally used in the industrial application. So question is, so the diamond can be formed, the synthetic diamond can be formed from the coal carbon atoms. Either you extract from the pure carbon atoms, either you extract from the coal, or either you take from the graphite sheet, but their purity is not as good as to the natural carbon. Now we come to the chemical vapor deposition method. So chemical vapor deposition is another method to synthesize the diamond material, and this method we also make the diamond, but that is also not as good as to the natural diamond. So in this method, we will use a seed diamond, that is a very almost the fingernail size of a diamond we take and put it into a vacuum chamber, and where the microwave are being exposed, and we will fill the methane and hydrogen gas that has been introduced into the chamber. So, and then we can start heating, and the temperature is around 2000 degrees centigrade, and very high pressure is being applied into the chamber. And then at this high temperature, the carbon atom, they come from the methane. Methane is the source of the carbon, and these carbon atom will start sticking to the diamond, and then a perfect sheet of the diamond can be grown overnight. So by this method, we also can make the synthetic carbon through the chemical vapor deposition. So now we come to the conclusions. So conclusion first is that coal can be converted into the diamond, but condition is that coal, firstly you have to purify, impurity has to be removed, or either you can extract the graphite, because coal have the major part in the coal is present in form of the graphite. Some of them amorphous carbon and some of them is the graphite. So you can extract graphite from the coal, and that graphite can be used, as we have discussed, through the high temperature, high pressure method. And by that way, you can convert coal into the diamond. But thing is that the synthetic diamond are not as strong as natural diamond. That is also the point, that they are not as strong. Mechanical strength is not as good as to the natural diamond, as well as the purity is also less. But and third thing is that the reflective index is also less of the synthetic diamond as compared to the natural diamond. Means the shining in the synthetic diamond is less as compared to the natural diamonds. Natural diamonds, they are having a much shining. They have very high reflective index of the order of 2.4. So these are the merits of the natural diamonds, or demerits of the synthetic diamond. But the merit of synthetic diamond is that the natural diamond, they take many years for the growth, but the synthetic diamond, they can be formed within a few hours to the few days. And some of the nano diamond, they can be made even in the second through the shock compression of an explosion method. So we can make the diamonds in the lab. So the diamond can be made in the lab, but their quality is not as good as the natural diamonds. But the positive thing is that the natural diamond take many years to be grown, but in the lab we can grow the diamonds in few hours or few days. So friends, so I hope that you will have some idea about this question, that either coal can be converted into the diamond through this video. I have not discussed in detail about the synthesis method of coal to the diamond or graphite to the diamond, because for that you must have know the different synthesis method of materials, then you will understand more. So in the coming videos, we will come up with some concept of the nanotechnology with nature, the different synthesis methods of the nanostructures, nanomaterials. So then you will be understand the phenomena of the synthesis of this, the graphite to the diamond more clearly after watching those videos. So we will bring those videos soon, and you can write your comments about this video. And if you like this, please share this video and subscribe our channel. And thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you so much.